Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we explored Irelia Fortress and we talked to everybody. And now we're probably gonna be able to observe a military exercise between the 3rd and 4th Division of the Imperial Army. So let's... Wait a second. That's not what I wanted. Wait. Wait, no. Where? What did I miss? I'm not able to go to the other side here. Connection bridge. I have talked to everybody. There's no new person who showed up here. What have I missed? I'm honestly curious. There wasn't any place to go in here. No. That is not an exclamation mark. That's just a couple of bunny ears that Elliot is wearing because, no reason. Ah. This bulletin is to inform all Thors' students that preparations for today's military exercise are now complete. Please assemble in the hangar immediately. Your transport is standing by. I repeat. That's Instructor Neidhart. The time must have passed more quickly than I thought. I suppose I should start making my way toward the hangar. Maybe I'll run into the others on my way? We boarded the armored cars and set off toward the proving grounds. Clown cars. The inside of the armored cars was narrow and cramped, and the smell of machine oil hung in the musty air. The cars shook and rattled over the uneven ground, tumbling us around like an iron coffin on wheels. Eventually, after enduring 10 minutes of jaw-rattling travel, unable to even peek outside at the scenery, we finally arrived at Irelia Fortress's military proving grounds. Irelia Fortress Annex, military training ground. Wow, 18 main battle tanks? There are plenty of older model tanks out there too. It even looks like they have airships here. Ah yeah, like the ones we saw Nord. Welcome! So that's Elliot's dad. I don't see the family resemblance. Looks like the hero made the jump from father to son, though. Reporting, Lieutenant General. Very good, Neidhart. And Instructor Valestein, I believe. Pleased to meet you. It's an honor to make your acquaintance, Lieutenant General Cragg. Allow me to extend my deepest thanks for agreeing to cooperate with us for the Academy's curriculum today. Think nothing of it. Many of these fine youngsters may one day hold positions in the Imperial Army after all. Besides, I owe a lot to old General Van Dyck. And these must be... what a piercing stare. So this is Cragg the Red. Elliot, my boy, it's so good to see you again. Huh? It must be half a year now since I last saw you. How have you been? That's a sharp-looking uniform you've got, too. I've seen the photos, but it looks even better on you in person. Dad, come on. You've still got a long way to go if you want to put on some real muscle. There is a part of me that hopes you'll stay my little cherub forever. But you're a man of Erebonia, and the men of the Empire must be strong, stout, and ready for action. It was for your own good as a man that I held back my tears and enrolled you in the military academy. Dad, I can't breathe anymore. I feel like everything I've been told about him was a lie. That there do seem to be some differences from the stories. You kidding me? He seems like a cool guy. What a delightful commanding officer you have, Major. Words fail me. Dad, knock it off. I'll tell Fiona. Moving right along. Lieutenant General Olaf Krag. I'm Lieutenant General Olaf Krag, commander of the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I've been entrusted with the role of overseeing today's joint military exercise. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Likewise, sir. It's a pleasure, sir. You've got one heck of a dad, Elliot. Believe me, I feel it in the bones. Now, let me give you a brief rundown of what will be happening. This exercise will consist of a simulated battle conducted by 2 of our armored divisions. Armored regiments are at the formation center. Infantry, armored cars, and airships will work in tandem, using their maneuverability to the fullest to obliterate the targets. As our targets today, we'll be using previous model tanks that have been decommissioned from service. Autopilot functionality will allow them to evade and return fire, but they've only been armed with paint bullets. However, all our regiments taking part in today's exercise have been equipped with live ammunition. So you intend to actually destroy the other tanks? It would hardly be a live fire exercise if we didn't. The current time is 1400 hours, right on schedule. We'll now begin today's joint military exercise. Armored Divisions 4 and 5 commence combat operations. Glory to the Empire and the Imperial Army. Begin! Yes, sir! Rah! Rah! 5th Armored Division, Armored Regiment will advance first. Armored Car Regiment and Infantry Regiment follow their lead. 4th Armored Division, Armored Regiment and Infantry Regiment advance together. Armored Car Regiment deploy to the left and right. Ooh, paint bullets. Actual bullets. It's certainly potent. So this is the kind of firepower it takes to fight a modern war. You said those tanks are called 18s? Yeah, they're a type of main battle tank the Rainford Company developed 2 years ago. I've seen their spec sheets, but seeing their power firsthand tells you what numbers and decimal points don't. They might be the strongest heavy tanks on the continent. And the Imperial Army's got a couple hundred of those in the wings, huh? That's kinda crazy. You try fighting things like these head on, you won't stand a chance. That's as true for our own nations as it is for others. I just can't get used to this. Just the sound of the artillery firing is enough to make me start shaking. I don't think that's something you should get used to, I mean, if the sound of guns and warfare ever stopped bothering you, I'd be worried. Rean? I guess this is another kind of strength. Thus, the military exercise came to an end. The 4th Armored Division, but led by Lieutenant General Cragg, withdrew to an encampment near the fortress. Meanwhile, we returned to the fortress where Major Neidhart outlined the results of the training exercise. After that... Sorry to add to wait for us to finish. Don't worry about it, we're the guests here after all. Thanks for your consideration. At the very least, I'd say dinner is a million times better than lunch was. I mean, it's hashed beef day. Haha, that's an Imperial Army tradition, isn't it? Ooh, just the smells make me hungry. Ah, yeah, where'd your instructor go? She's a real looker. I was hoping to get a chance to talk to her. She went to see the fortress commander with Instructor Neidhart. She did ask us to eat without her tonight. Ah, right. Well, if she's with Major Neidhart, it's hard to compete with those guys from the 4th Armored Division. It'd be enough if they just had Cragg the Red, but they've got the Major too, and he's kind of scary. like a division of muscle men. Anyway, we shouldn't keep you tied any longer. Your hashed beef's gonna go cold. See you tomorrow, guys. Wow, it's actually delicious. It's like night and day compared to what we had for lunch. You're telling me. Ah, come on guys, what's with all the gloomy faces? You think you guys might have had a bit too rosy of an outlook? What were you expecting to see out there? I'm sure you can understand at least a little of how we feel. It's like, has everything we've learned in our time at the Academy been for nothing? Academics, the arts, individual skill in combat? None of those matter in the slightest in real warfare, do they? It's true. If all you're looking to do is fight a war, you don't need any of those. All you need is plenty of troops at your command, the latest weaponry, and overwhelming firepower. Assuming you know the tactics to use them well, and a strategy that employs them effectively, I suppose. The 18s are even more powerful than I was expecting them to be too. I remember my mother boasting about their capabilities when she was trying to sell them to the army 2 years ago, but to be honest, I'm feeling somewhat disheartened as well. I can't see there being a place for swords on the battlefield with weapons like those on the front lines. Well, I don't think that means individual combat skill doesn't matter at all. Still, I think maybe we've been misunderstanding something important all this time. What we saw in that military exercise today was power in its purest form. It has no morality of its own. It exists to bring about a result, regardless of the ideals or principles of those who wield it. That's true. In a sense, the same could be said of a sword or a gun, and all the way up until up to something as huge as Corellia's railway guns too. I think I finally understand why they wanted us to watch that military exercise in the first place. They could have taught us in a less roundabout fashion. Well, looks like you didn't wait for me to start the party. Instructor Sarah? So, you spoke with the commander? Sure did. I've got up-to-date info on the trade conference too, as well as all the latest on the terrorists. So there's new information about the Imperial Liberation Front? Yikes. Anyway, before I get to do that, let me explain what you'll be doing tomorrow. In the morning, you're scheduled to participate in the Imperial Army's physical fitness training. In the afternoon, you'll be attending a special lecture where I'll bring you up to speed on that info I just mentioned. After that, you've been granted special permission to view the railway guns. I see. Looking forward to that. Sounds like we've got a pretty packed schedule. Well, we did bring you all the way out here, so we might as well make the most of it. Every nation possesses power in the form of a military, whether that military is large or small. Irelia Fortress just so happens to have that power in a very striking, easy-to-understand form. As students of a military academy, you have an obligation to know the scale of the power. The Empire of Erebonia wields at present a power you might one day be in charge of yourselves. Well... Haha! Anyway, even a meeting that long couldn't keep me away from trying the famous hashed beef rice. I've heard it's the only decent food they have around here, so I've been looking forward to this all day. We should probably finish eating. Yeah, though it's gotten a bit cold now. Maybe I'll go ask for seconds. Use this! If you don't want the rest of yours, can I have it? I'd sooner throw it away than give it to you. What a dick. I hope he just said that. Okay, that should do it. Nice. Alright, that covers today's quota. I'm looking forward to a nice long bath. Well, you know, every time there's a military exercise coming up, the workload gets pretty crazy like this. Still, at least managing inventory has gotten a lot easier thanks to the orbital net. They've got everything hooked up to the network over in Crossbell, right? Wish the Empire would get on that a bit more. Think of the utility. Well, from the sound of it, you need special equipment to send signals through a wired connection to make use of it. And considering the size of the Empire, it's probably going to be quite a while before it's a widespread thing there. Ah, Nordmail. Looks like it's from the HQ. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This right here is the problem with the orbital net. There's no such thing as off hours when they can just send you orders round the clock. Oh, 3 clients and 3 other dudes. Wow. Huh? What's going on? So, get this. They're planning on doing some extra exercise tomorrow. That means we've got out for 20 18s with C units by tomorrow. 20! Seriously? Might as well start up another pot of coffee. We're in for an all-nighter for sure. Do we have that many C units left? Actually, another lot came by freight just this evening. Exactly 20 if you can believe it. Guess we'll just have to get it done. Crap, at least let us take a shower. I'm gonna head down to the mess hall and grab some snacks. You want anything? Hex. Plot hex. Alright, let's save it. I'm not gonna end the episode here. Nah, not yet. The 31st of August. At last, after what seemed like enough adventure to fill a week, we reached the final day of our field study. Over in Crossbell State, they were busy preparing for today's keynote session at the trade conference. We spent the morning running through the Imperial Army's physical fitness program alongside some of the soldiers. And after completing it, no easy task I might add, we sat down for a lukewarm redux of yesterday's lunch. That afternoon, during our special military science lecture, we were presented with a confidential report on the terrorists. The Imperial Liberation Front is in Crossbell? That's right, or at least that's what the Intelligence Division believes. It looks like a known terrorist organization from the Calvert Republic has turned up in Crossbell, too. The situation over there is pretty tough and touch and go right now. Oh no? What are the authorities doing? Everything they can, naturally. However, operations are being handled solely by the Intelligence Division. They refuse to tell the Imperial Army anything, just that they have a trusted ally taking care of things. But who does this Intelligence Division trust? You've got to know something about this, right, Shortstack? Well, I do, but I can't really tell you anything. I guess it's not a breach of confidentiality to tell you they're a really strong bunch, though. That's still pretty vague. I've got a few ideas. Anyway, there's not much point in worrying about that right now. The bigger issue is that our terrorists of the hour, the Imperial Liberation Front, are a bigger crew than we thought. Big enough to be in possession of a state-of-the-art military airship at least. Seriously? An airship? Can we assume Rainfort's the manufacturer then? Correct. Just how something that large found its way into the hands of insurgents is currently unknown. But it seems to be a high-speed model, different from the heavily armored types favored by the Imperial Army. I'd bet it's from the RF-26 series. There are a number of different models within that series, though. But if they have an airship, that means they're going to be a whole lot more difficult to catch, doesn't it? That's exactly what it means. It's basically impossible to keep tabs on them as it is. With an airship in their possession, there's no telling when or where they'll pop up next. That's quite worrying, especially since Prince Oliviert is attending the conference. And TloH's in Crossbell right now, too. Yeah. And TloH. Damn, now you've got me worrying. Ah, take it easy. I don't think you have anything to worry about with Grants and Lecter over there. Well, that aside, if the terrorists' attention is currently focused on Crossbell, does that mean the Empire is effectively safe right now? You raise a good point, Laura. They did target Princess Elphine during the summer festival last month. It's possible it's just a feint. Maybe they just want us to believe they're targeting the Chancellor. The Weiwei military police thought so too, which is why they've increased the security level here at home. The Emperor and everyone else connected to the Imperial family should be safe. They've also beefed up security anywhere that seemed short-handed. As well prepared as ever, I see. At any rate, you've finally uncovered some information on the terrorists' identities, correct? That's right, though once again we have the Intelligence Division to thank for that. If you'd return your attention to the screen, please. I know that face. Gee. That's the man who kidnapped Princess Elphine and Elise in Heimdall. Not to mention he tried to start a war with Calvert in the North Highlands. So, who is he? His full name is Michael Gideon. He used his real name, what a scrub. He used to be an assistant professor at the Imperial Academy in Heimdall. That man, a teacher. So, an academic. Right, his focus was political philosophy. 3 years ago, he was dismissed from his position due to his intense criticism of Chancellor Osbourne's hardline policies. So getting laid off set him on a road to terrorism? Well, it sounds like the actual reason he was let go was because he was handing out tracts and flyers in public. You'll find these kinds of idealists at the heart of most terrorist groups, though. In seeding a group with their core ideology, they twist it to be even more militant and radical. You can't even reason with them either. Yeah, they just don't know when to give up. Sounds like some other groups I know. So, do we know anything about the others? We crossed paths with what I can only assume were 3 other key members last month in Heimdall. Yes, S, V, and C. And it seems like they haven't been able to dig up much on those 3 yet. Their strongest lead right now is that V may have belonged to a Jaeger Corps. Interesting. He was toting around this machine gun that looked like it should have been mounted on a vehicle. Did he seem at all familiar to you, Fee? Not really. They're working on narrowing down the identity of S too, but it's too early to make any informed statements. The real unknown is their leader, C. Ah, the one in the visored helmet. I heard he was able to go toe-to-toe with Rean, Laura, and Fee simultaneously. I almost find that hard to believe. I don't. I imagine there are plenty of people in the Empire who could do so. It goes without saying that the Radiant Blade Master could fend 3 of us off without much of a problem. But I'd bet good Mira, Instructor Sarah, and Major Neidhart could do it too. I can't say for certain. Ha! Look at Mr. Modesty over there. The Major here is widely held to be one of the strongest up-and-coming officers in the entire army. I've heard people mention him right alongside Major Vander. Laying it on a little thick today, aren't we? Going by the family name, it seems safe to assume that he's a practitioner of the Vander style of swordsmanship. No doubt a relative of Lieutenant General Vander from Zendergate. While I would question whether I can stand on equal footing with him, Major Vander is unquestionably strong. He was my classmate during the Military Academy years and quite close to Prince Oliviert as well. In fact, he's in Crossbell right now, serving as the Prince's bodyguard. Oh. Well, that's reassuring to know. But getting back to the point, it's not just C we still know very little about their group as a whole. Even their source of funding is a mystery. So if they are in no-show in Crossbell, I doubt we've heard. If they are in no-show in Crossbell, I doubt we've heard the last of them. Yeah, and call it coincidence or fate, but you've put the kibosh on their schemes twice now. It's entirely possible they've come to hold a personal grudge against you, so be careful. Right. Yeah, we'll be sure to keep that in mind. Eventually, the afternoon's series of special lectures came to an end, and it was finally time to get a peek at Corellia Fortress's infamous railway guns. 3:30 p.m. You'll now be shown to the area where the railway guns are housed. All of what you're about to see is highly classified. I presume you're aware of the protocol surrounding confidential intel? Yes, Instructor. I'm getting kind of nervous. Me too. Guys, it's just the railway guns. I've seen them before. They're nothing to get all excited over. Orion, this part of the field study is mandatory for you. If you'd like to stay here and wait for us, that'd be more than okay. Geez, I'm just kidding. I don't want to be the only one left behind. Honestly. Excuse me a moment. This is Neidhart speaking. Yes, hello, Commander Walter? Wait, Müller wants to speak to me. Of course, put him through. What could you possibly be calling about at a time like this? What? What's happening? He's taking a call from someone outside the fortress on his Arcus. Sure looks that way. Understood. We'll be on alert here as well. Yes, right. Take care out there. Did something happen in Crossbell? I'm afraid so. A short while ago, the skyscraper where the conference is taking place came under attack by the Imperial Liberation Front. The attack was carried out via airship. Fortunately, they were able to repel the terrorists, and Prince Oliviert, Chancellor Osbourne, and the others are unharmed. However, it's too early to tell if the danger has truly passed. They really did attack the conference? How foolish. But that's not all, is it? Something else strange happened. What is it? The terrorists were somehow able to gain access to the orbital net and manipulate the shutters that partition the building. Furthermore, they had with them a force of mechanical monsters. Hey. Bought on the black market, huh? I don't like the sound of that. You found something like that in Legram, right? Yeah, we ran into one on the highway there. And they broke into the orbital net. Major, how much of Corellia Fortress is connected to the network? At present, it's only used for inventory equipment, and equipment management by the maintenance staff. What was that? A tremor. It came from right below us. Below the hangar. What the hell? Yachtins! What happened here? They just started moving. No one's inside. They just started moving on their own. Did the C unit start malfunctioning? No, they couldn't have. What's a C unit? It's an automatic control unit we put on vehicles that are going to serve as targets in military exercises. How did C units end up attached to our most advanced tanks? This is really bad. I'm going to assess the situation. I need you here to help with fight the fires and assist the injured maintenance staff. Yes, sir. Please be careful out there. Well, these are some brave soldiers. This is crazy! Hold on a minute. Are automatic control systems really capable of that level of advanced maneuvering? No, they're definitely not. Our current technology isn't capable of anything nearly this advanced. But if you were to apply the tech used in the archaisms, it suddenly becomes a lot more possible. Instructor, are you saying that that society might be involved in this? I'd say it's looking more likely by the minute. What are they? Isn't the proving ground we visited yesterday out that way? What are they planning? What in Ideo's name is going on here? Why are unmanned tanks roving around blasting the hell out of the space on their own? Well, it seems like last night headquarters sent an order to the engineers to fit those units with those tanks with C units. Preposterous! I gave no such order. But never mind that. Right now, we need to focus on extinguishing the fires and quelling the confusion, and send a request for assistance to the 4th Armored Division. What should we do? I can't see us being able to catch up to them without a horse at the very least. But what's their goal? What are they trying to accomplish here? Whatever it is, they definitely have some kind of game plan. If I had to say, they're trying to goad us or bait us away from the Irelia Fortress from those cannons. I mean, but you know, do have knowledge from the prologue. We can't just stand aside and do nothing. Leave this to us! Isn't that... Dad? He's just standing there. Okay. He's just standing there without, like, grabbing onto anything. General, HQ has apprised me of the situation. Leave these rogue tanks to us. We can't rule out the possibility that they're a diversion. I want you all to stay here. Understood, sir? Thank you, General. Be careful, Dad. You too, Elliot. 4th Armored Division, advance! Take out those out-of-control tanks by any means necessary. Our opponents are unmanned. There's no need to hold back. Yes, General! Wow, your dad's really something else, Elliot. I admit he is pretty cool when he takes charge like that. Well, it seems like we no longer need to worry about those tanks, at least. Matt, what are they after? That's the question of the hour, isn't it? We can't let our guard down just yet. Might I suggest we fall back to the fortress, Major? A prudent move, after we assess the level of damage inside. Hey, aren't those... What the... Imperial Liberation Front? Wow, there's 2 of them. There's no way we could have known, there's no way we could have known they had another force lying in wait. Ah! The hangar!
Do they seriously think they could breach an impregnable fortress?
You might want to get a general.
They're just terrorists! Wipe them out! Right back at you.
Oh, shit. I saw bloodstains.
Alright, let's get this party started then.
Wow.
We're headed straight for the left railway gun. If anyone gets in our way, fill them full of holes. Yeah!
Oh no. Oh, don't make this into a German thing.
What's the Imperial Liberation Front doing here?
I thought they were in Crossbell.
Well, that is the main attraction.
That voice.
They sure didn't put up much of a fight, did they?
She sounds exactly like Sharon.
Our mission is to support Comrade G over in Crossbell. Our target is the right railway gun. Let's show him some beautiful fireworks, shall we?
Why do you sound like Sharon? The fuck? We saw Sharon like overhearing the like conversation that C and Gideon had, which like doesn't make any sense if like Sharon is her. So yeah, that doesn't work out that way. But I know that voice.
Yes, ma'am.
They're going for both the left and right wings. Shit! That's the railway guns they're after. No. Are they gonna fire them at the trade conference where the Chancellor is? If a shot from one of the railway guns hits the building, it'd blow the place to smithereens. So that's what they're after? This situation has escalated far beyond the scope of our field study. Of your field study. I want you all to stand by here. No way! We can't just stand idle while these insurgents run amok. If you won't take us with you, then we'll take action ourselves. Look, that's ×1 luxury we don't have. I think it's the best to have them help us. Listen up, we're gonna fight. We're going back into the fortress. Groups A and B, you're with me. Let's do this. $1,204. On the 31st of August, eastern edge of the Erebonian Empire. Irelia Fortress military training ground.
It's no use! We can't even scratch them! What's happening? Who's in control of those things? Get in touch with the 4th Armored Division! We need backup from Lieutenant General Craig!
I don't think it's particularly smart to stand on top of that tank. I'm sorry. Oh boy.
This is awful.
Yeah, I mean, they're dead.
What happened here?
How terrible.
I can smell smoke. Are they using gunpowder?
They've completely blindsided us. It appears that everything else they've done today was to serve as a decoy, even making the tanks go haywire.
Right. It looks like their real target was the railway guns all along. Which means they must be serious about targeting that trade conference in Crossbell City.
They wouldn't! How low can they possibly sink?
So, they're intent on taking the Chancellor's head after all.
Resorting to such wanton violence? This is absolutely outrageous.
Huh, this does look kinda bad.
Understatement of the year.
Please, let us help. We don't know if reinforcements are on the way, and it doesn't look like we have much time left. We have to stop them before they can activate the railway guns.
Rean's right.
I don't know how much we can really do, but considering the alternative, we have to try.
Right.
I'm not about to let those terrorists have their way.
Looks like any attempt to convince you otherwise would fall on deaf ears. All right. Rean, you and the rest of Group A are with me. Group B, you'll be under the command of Major Neidhart.
Nice. Everybody's equipped.
One group will secure the gun in the right wing. The other group will secure the left. This is an actual combat situation, with real lives at stake. I expect the best from each of you. Yes, sir! All right, Class 7. Our objective is to stop the activation of the railway guns. We've learned a lot at the Academy. It's time to put that knowledge to the test.
Understood!
What was that noise? And also yay for prologue. Instructor Sarah joined the party. While she is assigned to the active battle party, the number of support members is increased to 3. You can now use the burst link attack. Ooh. Burst, an attack on all enemies performed by 2 linked pairs, which consumes the bravery points you gain from repeated assist attacks. Costs 5. Press X when link attack appears. On everybody, huh? Intriguing. Oh, Sarah. Oh, Sarah. Oh, lordy. You have breasts. But, for the moment, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I will see you in the next episode as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, toodles!